Good evening, I'm Daniel Miller and this is Destiny Academy. A warm welcome to all of our friends, fans, community members, participants and everyone who's watching this stream, our beta test of Destiny Academy live on Twitch or any other platform. Thank you for joining us, and thank you first of all for supporting our Gamers for Mental Health community, which is run here on this channel. Thank you first of all from the bottom of my heart for all the support, your participation, feedback and everything that's been received in the course of the week. Your assistance, your help and all that you have contributed had been absolutely extraordinary and really truly appreciated. It made this channel a lot more fertile. It made it possible for me to ascend, to accelerate, to make sure that everything on the channel, the new setup, the new audio, the new things are actually working properly. And just generally we made it very interactive, very engaging, very interesting. We talked about the topics which indeed will be persisting here as we carry on, and we touched on issues which are really creating the backbone of this channel. Two major issues. One is uniting the gamers from around the world to play games, have fun, to communicate, to spend time together throughout the day, throughout the week, at any time we actually have a few hours to spare to enjoy the wonderful world of video gaming. The other is, through our activities and our connections, to be able to raise the issues which are affecting our community. And those issues are indeed very serious. Some of those are being affected by things that are happening in the local community, and if you're in the UK and European Union, you will know that we've been hit by massive increases on the expenditure. The cost of living has gone up and up. It's astronomically high, which made it almost impossible for certain people to live as they should. And therefore, we had observed many effects of that process within our communities. Most importantly, many people have been affected by inability to pay the bills, and therefore their health, their mental health, emotional health was seriously affected. Some of those also had faced a serious threat of potential homelessness, not being able to pay the rent, and then being very worried. And it just simply happened to be all happening at once, and therefore we are here within our community to provide space and time to support literally everyone who's affected by any of those issues. Most importantly, we are having fun by playing video games, and we are trying to really divorce from everyday ills, but we also want to be using the capacity which is present here to connect and to communicate in order to talk about these issues, and therefore make our life and the lives of our contributors, participants and our community members a lot better. So first of all, in addition to thanking everyone, I want to just tell you that I'm very happy with the results of the test so far. We have been able to, certainly adjust the audio levels and check off our overlays and the various things which I've introduced to the channel in order to make it as interactive as possible. And obviously I'm still learning a bit about it, so you have to bear with me as we carry on. But at the same time, I'm also experiencing a lot of joy by seeing that all of that hard work and effort that's been put into the new concept is actually beginning to work. It's bringing results, and even on the level of beta test, it is bringing in new community members. We had acquired a number of new subscribers, or a number of new followers I should say, and other people who have been joining our community. I was absolutely overjoyed to see that some of our friends who literally just met on the channel during our beta test already talked about creating squads and clans here in Destiny, which is exactly what this channel is here for. So in addition to that, I had told our community and all the followers, participants and I guess the public members about the slight change of the focus that we have here, and that is, for everyone who's been here right from the beginning, you will know and remember that we had always supported those who are in the need here on the channel, and we have been providing space and time for people to join forces from around the world to talk about the issues particularly during the time of the pandemic. So that was a period of about 2 years where many people felt very alienated and isolated. We have been here to provide that space and time for them to engage, to feel completely together with others, and simply fight the fear which was plaguing our communities. And that was really extremely successful. We had 2 major streams at the time of Warzone and Apex. Sometimes you also play Destiny, but Warzone and Apex really tied people together with that degree of high octane matches, and the overall activity that was keeping everyone's energy levels quite high. And I have to say, I've not really engaged with our community for a little while, and I really miss everyone. So I hope that all of our community members and participants who were very much participating during the pandemic will come back and tell us a bit about their lives of today and how they're coping and what they're doing. So that's really something I really look forward to. So in addition to supporting people in any case, we are now streamlining the channel to be supporting our charities. As we are facing those huge difficulties in our community, we've got to be able to, first of all, raise the awareness amongst everyone about the fact that certain support is needed for those who are working but are vulnerable, and those people usually are attached to various charities. So at the moment, I have created a major fundraising campaign which will last for 6 months until the end of this year, and that campaign is here in order to support Mind UK. For all of you Brits, you'll know everything about Mind, similar to Samaritans or any other mainstream mental health charity. It has been supporting those people whose lives have been affected by emotional difficulties for many decades. And like any other charity in this country, Mind had suffered, and definitely any form of support will be appreciated. By that I don't mean just monetary, by donating, which is obviously what you can do at any time, but also in terms of creating some publicity, doing something voluntarily, being involved with charitable events, talking to other people, friends, family, work colleagues, about the fact that you know someone who has been suffering throughout the pandemic and who have developed serious emotional problems, therefore they've gone to Mind, and therefore the Mind will need some of your funds, will need some of your support. You will be able to donate, if you wish, directly through Tiltify. So I personally don't have anything to do with the financial side of things. I'm here to promote and raise the issue of fundraising for the charity, and obviously you can use the channel here for the chat or any other platform that I have established in order to support. So if you're interested, you can just go to the chat and you'll see the links indicating where you can learn more about the campaign, about the charity, and all that we are presently doing. In addition to Mind, I will also support Epilepsy Scotland, Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children, National Autistic Society, and also Shelter, the charity that deals with people who have become homeless, or indeed those who are facing this dreaded threat. So we are going to be involved in several campaigns, and those campaigns will be continuous here on the channel. They'll be tied in with all that we do, because the idea is to use our gaming communities, which are very fertile, very active, very engaging, present on the internet 24/7, 365 to 66 days a year, and also with the sheer number of up to 4 billion people entering such forums. It certainly gives us a huge capacity to communicate and to connect, not just in order to have a lot of fun, which is obviously our prerogative and priority, but also to talk about certain issues. You would have seen with Microsoft and the Xbox Ambassador forums, as well as some of the other departments of the Xbox, how incredibly well aware they have been of these issues and how they got involved with many charities, hospitals, particularly hospitals for children, like for instance St. Jude Hospital, Research Hospital in the US, which has been greatly supported by both of these entities, Microsoft and Xbox. And they have been talking about all these very important issues literally throughout podcasts, on Xbox Wire, and various platforms that are instantly accessible on the internet. And therefore they have engaged many participants, and there have been very significant funds raised. I think in Britain, as far as the gaming community is concerned, we are lagging seriously behind when it comes to charitable fundraising, and therefore I want this channel to be one of those pioneering entities that is joining forces with others to do it. Because obviously somebody needs to start out first, and somebody needs to really talk about the need for our communities to become more united and more streamlined towards some really important causes, the good causes, the causes which you can call noble, those that will enable other people to access certain services, to get back on their feet, to recover from illness, and generally to feel less alone. I think the biggest problem that most people faced with the pandemic was feeling alienated, feeling alone, being kind of in your own flat, away from everyone, not being able to contact your friends and family because of the dreaded virus before the vaccine was distributed. And I have to say that I've had quite a few people here participating in our Warzone sessions who actually, Apex as well, who were actually suffering from COVID at the time. They didn't have extremely severe symptoms, but they were incredibly grateful for us bringing them in, because otherwise, as you know, they simply had to be in complete isolation. And for me, this was a really highly illuminating, greatly treasured experience, and I have been very greatly rewarded purely by those people participating and sharing their experiences together with us here. So remember, joining in, raising a hand, opening up and talking about some things which are in your mind is going to be always very important. Do not feel shy, do not feel that you're not important or that you are just somebody of no significance. We are always here to hear your voices. We're always here to be as concerned as possible if, for instance, you're affected by something that is dreadfully plaguing your life. And we are here also to provide that degree of entertainment, so that the channel will give a respite to the ills, at the same time talking about these issues and making them very much present in our local community. I think the power of social media is incredible, but in my view it's slightly also mischanneled, because we spend a lot of time watching various influencers, reality shows and fake news and all sorts of things which keep popping up every single day. Why not use the same force here within our gaming community to promote these good causes? Why not just do something that will make other people's lives better? Today I read some articles on video gaming and psychiatry, and I will become more connected with some of those professionals in the US who already have been very involved with the application of video gaming within the field of psychotherapy and various other forms of psychological counseling. I'm very interested to hear what the empirical data is, what research they have completed, and what results they managed to acquire. All of that is indeed on my mind, being a senior mental health professional myself, and I want to be exploring that further with our participants and everyone in our gaming community, because I certainly very strongly believe it is sort of it's a massive new force which has been created between the last 5 to 6 years, and it is really providing us with a massive opportunity to connect with others, to talk about these issues, and then initiate the change. I think there's 3 different key points. First of all, talk about the issues, connect with others, initiate the change. I think that's the way it needs to be approached. That's the way we are going to be doing it here on the channel. So anyway, cut long story short, the channel is, as always, going to be supporting those individuals in the need, and that will include people who suffer from serious illness, those who are affected by mental health issues or disability, anyone who feels under the weather, people affected by the threat of homelessness, or anyone else, in fact, who is feeling vulnerable. So if you are one of those people, make no mistake, we are going to be here for you, and you need to join us, and we'll talk. And if need be, if you require some additional community-based assistance, we are going to provide it. We are going to direct you to the right source, and therefore you'll be able to get it as soon as possible, and indeed for all of that to be as effective as possible for you to feel remedied. Sometimes the issues might pop up that are not to be talked about in public, and therefore I will approach them personally, so through direct messages or additional forums which obviously have encryption privacy. But as I said, the creed here is gamers for mental health, gamers unite. So join our forces through very exciting, very entertaining video gaming activity with the provision of high quality content, and us being here to help. So that's the bottom line. Anyway, I talked quite a bit. I introduced a few other topics that we had been, I guess, talking about earlier in our Destiny beta, and I really will crack on with some gameplay. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to see some of my participants, but I'm having a bit of trouble with my setup, because just bear with me a second. I'm not seeing presently something that I really wanted to see. Just bear with me. I need to double check, because I have several devices that are monitoring the stream and all that's happening at the same time. So it's a bit of a challenge for me compared to my previous setup and all I've had. But you know, all of that I'll be able to master. I'll get used to it, and things will be as good as they should be. So bear with me. I'm just trying to get. I don't know really why my tablet is so slow. Trying always the very best to make things as accelerated as possible, but it doesn't seem to be that fast. So I'm not sure what is happening here. Well, the setup is a bit slow here from my end, and I think it's probably down to the tablet that I've got. It doesn't seem to be loading as quickly as it should. But anyway, it will all work out in due course, and if need be, I'll have to replace it by some newer gadgets in order to have instant access to all the information. Right, so we were talking about our good causes, about the new direction, about some additions to this channel. We are really very happy to see that all of our friends and fans who were previously contributing indeed had come back, and I was very excited to see at least 2 or 3 of our regulars who said hello yesterday. And the yesterday session, which was intended to be roughly about 2 hours long, ended as a lengthy stream of over 7 hours of gameplay and chats, which I was truly delighted to have here. So that's exactly how we are going to be having it. Anyway, we are here to play games, and this forum is indeed called Gamers for Mental Health. So why not just have a look at our hunter and then simply dive in. Yesterday we were doing lots of Sievers, and then we also talked to our community members. So I think today we'll be looking at something similar. It is Saturday night, and for all of you who are Destiny veterans, you will recall that Saturdays and Fridays are usually the nights that people play raids. So I don't really expect many people to be coming to have a look at what we are doing, but you know, I'm very excited to see that some of our old friends indeed are very interested in participating with our future activities. It will take a bit of time, both for the friends to discover that we are back live every day. In addition to that, we'll have to wait for Twitch, YouTube and all the other platform algorithms to pick us up. You will know that algorithms are always monitoring the frequency of somebody's gameplay as well as the duration of them being on air. So people who are very frequent, who are having lengthy streams, longer than 4 hours, will be always picked up by the algorithms that pop up right at the top, and therefore it will be very easy for the newbies and people who are not familiar with the channel to find that particular entity and then engage with their community. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing. You'll recall that a few years back when I had began streaming Destiny here on Twitch, we were always #1 channel that popped up initially as #1 on Twitch platform in the category for Destiny. And the reason for that was regular streams of certain duration, everyday streams, usually between 4 to 5 hours, and therefore we were being picked up. So we will sort of strive towards the same sort of engagement initially, and we'll hope that Twitch algorithms are going to be kind, and therefore will put us back again to that space through which we can engage with many participants. Obviously, the idea is to raise the awareness of mental health, of our charities, and also, first of all, for us as gaming community members to be able to help others. That's first and foremost always for myself. So everyone else who comes here needs to know that actually this is what we do, and also just want to illuminate everyone on the fact that we have very strict rules. The rules are indeed present on the chat, so when you're entering, you'll be given the rules to read them, and you will need to be abiding by everything that's written in there. The channel is going to be a lot more strict in terms of certain inclusions, because the rules on Twitch and YouTube and various other public forums have changed in the meantime, and they're stricter than they were in the past. But most importantly, we want this forum to be as inclusive, as pleasant, and as positive as possible for everyone who comes here. So anyone who is interested in chasing scores, doing speedruns, or indeed being unpleasant or being abrasive, they will have no place here, and any form of behavior of that sort will be met by an outright ban, and if it's serious, it will be reported to the authorities. So it's very clear cut, and the system have been set up to deal with these individuals immediately, so we don't have to worry and bother about the collateral or whatever is to happen next. I've done all of this in view of my 5 years of streaming experience, and the system we have at the moment is going to be faster and better to what we had before, because previously I was relying on Twitch and other platforms to basically respond, but we are now jumping gun, and it's us who's going to be responding first, and then Twitch and all the others, the companies in the private sector, can decide what they want to do next. But we'll go not through them, we'll go through our superiors and our local authorities, or the authorities where certain incidents could be reported. So anyway, that's something just I wanted to mention. Alright, so the first thing we always do, and our friends will know that, is we'll go to the tower. We're called Destiny Academy, and this is Gamers for Mental Health Forum. So what does this actually mean? What is Destiny Academy? Well, first of all, this is a forum to which people are becoming a bit more knowledgeable. It's like an educational forum, and it is providing education and knowledge on both levels. One level is to do with gaming, and the other is to do with mental health. So if you want to get more knowledge on either of those two fields, well, you're at the right place, because we'll talk at length about gaming and the gaming industry and our gaming communities and everything that is gaming related. You would have seen that yesterday. We talked for 7 hours with some of our veterans about, for instance, Redfall, about Bungie, about Microsoft, Xbox, PlayStation, all the other developers, the future of gaming, the Gamescom coming up, and etc., etc. So you get to know lots of things about the world of gaming, and in addition to that, you will be able to get to know a lot about the world of mental health, particularly in the area of charitable support. Not just charities, but also other institutions and private companies and hospitals and various other entities that provide adequate support. But the idea is, obviously, what we are going to be doing is simply facilitating that process and providing everyone with the right shortcut in order to access services. That's very, very important, because I've had, during our Warzone streams and also with Apex and particularly with Destiny, a number of people who approached me personally outside of the stream and asked for some assistance. The assistance was how to access certain mental health services, and this was for the people of various backgrounds and various ages. The vast majority were from the UK, obviously, for the obvious reason, because we have obviously statutory services and there's certain procedures to which people can refer, etc. And I've helped every one of those people. And there have been people who obviously asked me for individual support, which I provided, which is obviously completely outside of the stream, anything to do with gaming. So you have to remember, if you're experiencing certain difficulty, you have got to be... What's going on now? I'm losing picture for some reason. I apologize for this. It's, I think, probably on my setup rather than on yours. Yes, anyone who's experiencing difficulty, first of all, must speak out. That's most important. You've got to be talking about what's going through your mind, and you should not feel afraid. Frequently, people will feel quite uneasy if they were to talk about their family members for reasons. You know, you live with your family, you're close to them. Therefore, approaching those agencies that are qualified to deal with these issues is always the best way forward. That doesn't have to be a professional hospital. It could be someone who works for a charitable foundation, someone who supports a mental health charity or any other organizations in the community. Or indeed, one can go into support groups. Support groups are absolutely terrific in providing services and environment which feels safe and sound for people to talk. So if you've been with this channel for a while, you will know that initially it was called Daniel Miller Gaming, but actually very quickly became D.R. Miller Gaming Dialogue, and that's similar to my other entity, which is dedicated to film, called Film Dialogue, because really a monologue is something I do not enjoy. A dialogue is something I always find particularly rewarding, and I had been participating in very many countless sessions where we debated things, and we had a fertile dialogue amongst many participants in those fields, and that included mental health, included film, included music, books and literature, as well as gaming. So it's quite wide, but the dialogue is the one that actually made things grow, move forward, and change. So therefore, it is very important to talk. Anyway, let's have a look what our hunter has in stock, and also what we are going to be doing here in Destiny today. Yesterday I completed quite a few bounties, and I really thought that my Destiny career in the original game had been kind of fully complete, but then upon inspection I realized I was completely mistaken. There are lots of different tasks which I still need to be completing, and that's what we are going to be doing before we get to the point where there are lots of participants and many people coming in and joining us with our sessions. So alrighty, how's everybody doing? What games are you playing at the moment? I think what I picked up from our friends yesterday was particularly Destiny 2 and the new season, and then we've heard a bit about Redfall, we heard about Mass Effect, we heard that some people are anticipating Starfield and really looking forward to it. So these are the games that are indeed on our decks. Apex is that one too, Warzone as well, the regular seasons and regular activities that people have every single day. I've got to say, Apex have really truly developed and excelled. It does have many seasons and events, and it's very enjoyable. The maps are really great, the graphics have been enhanced, it's not glitchy anymore. Lots of things like the entry have been automated. Really a very, very good game. I also really like the concept of the seasons where you are coming in and coming out and collecting different parts of the graphic novels that follow the story. And I really wonder whether we'll create like animated series for those legends because they're so funny. And anytime there's a new season, there's a clip or a short film dedicated to the new legend and all the rest of them, and it's so enjoyable to watch and also so funny. So definitely one of my favorite games, certainly at present, and it's been already for several years. And if you ask me what I'm playing at the moment, I can tell you the big game I'm going through is a Mass Effect Andromeda, the game that I played initially, disliked to a degree, and then never finished. But recently, and I have to say this actually would have taken me the whole year, I had played Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is basically the trilogy remastered and improved for the next gen, and that would have taken me probably more than 700 hours. The game is so massive that there are so many different things that one can be doing in there. It's absolutely astonishing. So I can only recommend it most highly to literally every single member of our community. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is probably one of the best games ever created.
What does it mean?
If you like the games that require a lot of dialogue, participation, decision making, decision taking, lots of diligent customization, um, exploration of various areas, so that's it's not really open world, semi-open world, and discovering different hidden parts of the galaxy where the enemy is hiding. I mean, just a true joy to play, and I simply can't wait for Mass Effect. Is it 4 or 5 to come out? Because obviously Mass Effect Andromeda is not seen as the continuation of the trilogy, so I really look forward to the new project. As you know, it's been really a couple of years spent on it, so I really look forward to the showcase events this year, which will present us with some clips or some ideas. I'm really very, very excited. Coming back to Andromeda. Andromeda is a game that had huge potential, and I think probably for the reason of finance or because of the pressure from shareholders, they released the game too early. The biggest problem they experienced with Andromeda, the way I see it today, when I watch it, but it's sort of distance, is the wrong engine.
Strange matter.
So if you are, for instance, playing the Legendary or even the original trilogy, you will be absolutely in awe of the framing. The framing is impeccable for every single dialogue. It's very cinematic. It's perfect frames, and in Andromeda, it feels a bit like a beta test. It's really bad. Although there are some dialogues perfectly framed, the vast majority, 95%, seem to be out of shape, out of angle, out of perspective. It looks like the main character is actually out of the frame and the other two characters can't even get in. So that is technically beyond deplorable. It is awful. The dialogue in Andromeda is excellent. The game's been written in a way which is of such high quality that you're completely being dislodged by the poor framing and the technical problem that the engine they used had caused. So you're not even listening to the dialogue because you're frustrated by not being able to see the faces of those people. I think this is just, I couldn't believe that BioWare would have been experiencing, that sort of error, really. But then on the other hand, I've gone into Andromeda quite a bit. I've played it already for quite a while, so I've gone maybe down to 25% of the game. What is visible, the problems that it had with Andromeda had been just like massively blown up with the release of Anthem. The world does look similar in some areas. They used a different engine, I think, for Anthem, but the same sorts of problems persisted. Anthem just felt like a game that hasn't really passed beta, technically and in any other way. And also, if you could say that Andromeda had been so beautifully written and so interesting and very versatile with a number of characters, situations, locations, with a kit and literally everything, then you'd say that Anthem is just very simplistic. The dialogue is extremely poor. You have just two options when you meet people, and also the map in Anthem today, several years after the game's been released, still doesn't work. The map doesn't tell you where the characters you need to speak to really are. So what are you to do? How are you to find them? And that really resulted with many reviewers played the game initially, pre-release, finishing it in about 12 to 13 hours. I spent 145 hours on the campaign, so it's a sizable chunk of time. The reason for that is like BioWare Games veteran, and I had spent a lot of time playing other games such as Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect Trilogy. I played Jade Empire, so I knew that anywhere I went, I had to look for those characters who were part of the story, and I had to discover them. I've done it in Anthem as well, so I found the characters in remote spaces and places, and they talk to me and we had a dialogue. It's just that I was unlocking side quests, but the dialogue was poor. So it was very poorly written, and I really think that Anthem should have been a bit like Destiny 2, It's been launched with all these flaws and everything that didn't really work, and they should have really invested in developing further, developing more of the game with a few more characters with more within the story of the game, and just generally evolving with the seasonal content and various other additions that will make it very interesting. Anthem still remains a game with huge potential, but using the wrong engine, I mean, I don't understand it. BioWare is not, they aren't some sort of very small, unknown, independent company that is not known to anyone. It's like one of the biggest, the best game developers on the planet, and for them to be having such games and the launches that backfire in such a fashion is mind-boggling. And really, I think a lot of people were going to be like, seeing the last nail in the coffin with Anthem and say, well, after Andromeda, Anthem, this company is just long gone. So obviously the next release, we'll see whether it will be the next Dragon Age or Mass Effect, two of the heavyweights they've produced, and obviously the games that have been hugely successful over the last decade and a half. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the next step is, and what sort of quality we are going to be getting. I mean, we've seen the same problem with Redfall. Redfall is not a game that belongs to the same group of parent companies. Belongs to Xbox Game Studios and Arcane Studios that worked on it. But really, the same problem like Anthem. Pre-beta. I don't understand it. It's a very competitive market. There are lots of great games coming out, both indie and mainstream. And the big guys, they can't really afford doing anything like this. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, are you guys doing Destiny 2? Are you playing the new season? How are you finding it? Are you picking up any weapons? Are you excited about fishing and diving? Well, I'll sit you down. But we are Destiny 1. Oh, we have Sandman in here. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. How are you, sir? Good to see you. I'm doing a stream tonight, primarily to test the overall Destiny audience on the Twitch, the categories for Destiny, because I've seen that the number of viewers and participants have been dropping for the original game, so I want to see what the participation is at present. Saturday and Friday night is probably some of the best times for online streaming, but as far as Destiny is concerned, most people do raids on those days, and therefore they're very busy with their own game rather than participating with the works of others. So we'll have to see. And also I think for our community, I need to test the times in the course of a week to find out what the best times will be for some streams. Because I generally stream early in the day, and I know that's not very suitable for people who are at work, but we get students and those people who are having fewer commitments, like during the morning hours. So we'll have to really pitch the streams accordingly, particularly for those that are going to be community streams tied in with the fundraising campaign. They'll probably have to do it for now. But we'll basically play by ear, and I always rely on the feedback that comes from the community. And I've been, very, very grateful to everyone who participated in the course of this week, because your feedback and your support and help, particularly yesterday, with so many people coming in and talking, have been wonderful. We just felt that the channel was as alive as always, and indeed being able to provide us with feedback on the technical side of things has been very, very fundamental, because I know lots of these technical issues I had in the past have been completely resolved. The only problem that's persisting is audio.
For Ms. Eva Levante.
I think it's to do with that silly update that they've done to Twitch app on both consoles. It does affect the audio. It's not good. We have continuous breaks where the voice disappears in the course of the recordings, and I think it happens also as we are doing it live. That's been reported on various forums, like on Reddit and Discord in particular.
Deliveries are being restored.
When I listen to my voice, I can at times hear that the voice is slightly accelerated, so I sound kind of manic, and the voice is a bit, distorted. At other times, it sounds sort of really weird. It's like some feedback on the vowels are pronounced differently. It's not really the way it should be. but I've got no control over this. I can't do anything about it, you know? And lots of people complain. It works better on PlayStation because it is audible, so you're not having major drops where it always keeps disappearing constantly.
2 hours back.
But on the Xbox, I can't do any streams at the moment before they sort out the the app, which is it's not workable. Salman says it's fine. Can I just ask you, is it a bit louder or is it a bit quieter? The broadcaster's voice compared to yesterday and the day before, because I tweaked it a bit. I watched
down to the city and up again,
and,
down and up again. Oh dear.
The loudness in the course of the stream was variable, so it started at a perfect level, and as we carried on, it just became much louder, much too loud. I have no idea why. You know, triple check the settings on PlayStation, on the headset, the mic, etc. Everything seems to be the same, but on Twitch and on the recording, it's variable. It's really weird. You know, or maybe it's to do with the bandwidth. Obviously, I've got this different type of internet, which is airborne, 4G internet, very fast, and it may be connected to that. I don't know, but I think as long as people can hear it and it's audible, then it's fine. You think it can, yeah? Okay, we'll try to turn it down a bit. It's a bit loud, is it? Okay. Our friend Sandman tells us that it's possible that we can just turn the game volume a bit down, so we'll put it down to 50%. You think that's going to be better? Let's see. Look at that, there's Rudy in there. You think it's a bit better now? Can you actually hear the difference? I've turned it a bit down from 63% to 50%, so I guess I'd probably come across as a bit louder. What do you think? Maybe we'll see it as we crack on, you know, with some activity, and we'll see whether this is going to be better. We'll see.
Too heavy. Too heavy.
I tell you what, I'll just bring it back to 63%, and then you'll tell me, as I enter one of the strikes, whether the game volume is still loud, yeah? Because I was tweaking it up previously, and this setting, 63% on the game volume and then chat, seemed okay. Seemed like it's, you know, it's blending. What they've done to the app is the actual blending of the sounds, you know, the broadcaster's mic and the game sound has gone just haywire. It was perfect beforehand. It was perfect before this update, but that's what the problem is, because with Xbox it's distorting it and killing it. I'll show you. I'll put the Xbox on during my beta test next week, and you'll be able to see how the voice just keeps disappearing. We'll do like 1 hour on Xbox just to try it, and that will be Destiny 2, because I got the full content there on Xbox. Yeah. Our friend says, well, it's probably something technical. Yes, certainly. And our friend also says that, asking me whether I'm going to play Destiny 2 tonight. Not tonight, really. We'll do Destiny 1, and then Destiny 2 I'll play maybe on another day. And the difficulty I have is that on the PlayStation I don't have the full content of the game, you know. And with the community, people come in and they want to do something, you know, the Witch Queen, or they want to do something that is left from Beyond Light, so they want to do Lightfall, and then I can't access it on PlayStation. I can do it obviously on Xbox. For that, I need to discontinue the stream, and then I have to be doing it from the start. And the biggest problem is the glitch, right? So what can I do? And our friend says, some days I'm busy and some nights I'm busy, but I'll be around when I can. Sure. Well, you know, the idea behind flexible streams is that there could be several times a week, like a fixed schedule, like 3 days of fixed schedule, and then other days can be variable, and that depends obviously on the participants, because we have sometimes people who are unable to participate. You know, a lot of people do streams midday to about 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, because then you get people, particularly from the EU, coming back home after 3 o'clock PM and then joining and participating, because obviously there's this 1 hour difference between our time and theirs. So, you know, it's just a question of us playing it by ear. Alright, so let's see. Let's see, what do we do? We'll pick up some bounties. We'll get some bounties from our friend here.
Here.
Always a good idea. So we have some super kills.
Updating logs.
For Sievers, we have complete strikes in the Siever Crisis playlist.
Confirmed.
Lane multiples, that's good. Enemy kills rapid fire. Siever Crisis, that's good. We'll take Vanguard. Precision kills. Special weapon, yeah. And that's probably it. I don't think we've got any more space. I see that we got 25,000 Glimmer, which is... yeah, that's right, we've got everything here. So that's all sorted. I couldn't get in the Crucible the other day. Just waited and waited. There's just, you know, infinite waiting. And obviously being on a stream, we can't be doing this. We can wait maybe a couple of minutes, but... yeah. So today, we'll do a bit of Sievers, and then we'll look at some of the other tasks, which are basically the leftovers. The leftovers from my activities before. And I was quite shocked to see that there is a lot to do on every one of my characters. Simply, the biggest leftover is on the Titan, because I've not played Titan that much. But Warlock and Hunter seem to be alright. So,
thank you, Guardian.
Okay, so that's sorted. We think we don't need anything else. Quickly, I'll see.
I am instructed to tell you that.
Any extras in here? Spares.
Anything for you? Transferred.
Okay, what's this? Lost Titan, Legendary.
Have a nice day.
So these ones we don't need. Anything blue and green can be immediately discarded. Not really useful. But we can keep it if we want to be infusing, you know, that weapon with another primary or secondary, and that is obviously something that is useful. But you know, 390, we just went 400s. We're not interested in anything less than 400. And you can see the blues are 390, but the legendaries are 400. So the blues can just be bent. I'm just going to say to our friend Sandman, you know, we talked about Matthias, our friend from the US, the other day. I mentioned him a couple of times because he was the one who kind of guided me towards Dark Drinker and helped me with some other weapons like Sleeper Simulant. And he actually came in later in the stream, and I not talked to him for a couple of years. He was absent from my Destiny 2 streams, or Warzone completely, and as I toned down the Destiny 1 stream, he wasn't coming. And then he came in straight away, and we talked. I said, you know, it's funny. I've not talked to you like for several years, since 2019, I think, even before the pandemic. And today we do Destiny, and we talk about you, and then it's like premonition. You come in, and I was very, very happy to hear that he was alive and well and safe and healthy. And he got involved with some animations. He does some animations for other streamers, which I think is terrific. He's an avid gamer on PlayStation. He played lots and lots of different games, and he's a very great fan of tactical games and also the title, the big kind of horror titles and that. But he is a master of Vanguard Destiny here in this Bunge's universe. He knows everything about Destiny 1, and he does some coaching for raids. He helps other people who are newbies. And definitely, you know, he's a chap that we can always bring in if somebody needs some assistance. The only trouble there is he's 9 hours back. So when he wanted to help me, because my stream was starting 10 o'clock in the morning, he would have to either stay up all night, or he would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, which he did do. And I'm always grateful, because, you know, that sort of dedication to a streamer and to someone's community is extraordinary. And he'd get up at 3 o'clock, do this lengthy quest for the exotics here, and then go to work. It's phenomenal. But I did actually warn him not to do that frequently because of his health. You know, it's obviously heavily taxing one's own health doing it like that. But always grateful for the support and for the assistance. And he have helped several community members who were kind of grinding, you know, to get certain top weapons here in Destiny 1. And Sandman says, yeah, I can hear your voice better. It's better now. Yeah, I guess it's probably to do with these levels, the way the game sound is getting mixed. But as we carry on, I'll listen to every single stream. Eventually, we'll find the right level, and then we'll keep it like that. The only annoying thing is you get it sorted for Destiny, and then it won't work for Apex or Warzone. Like every game will have the different issue because obviously it comes from different servers and you've got different setups, which is annoying. But such is life, really. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's to see what the sending is. Let's see. Sending anything good? I don't know.
Let's see.
Sometimes I would get a blue engram, and then we get to the decoding. And guess what happens? I get a wonderful exotic.
Stay safe.
No, that's of no use. The blue ones are just, that's no use. I think I'll probably delete quite a few of the items I have in the vault because I just keep the best of legendaries and exotics. And
Vex encryption.
Our friend says I would like to have PS5, to be honest. Well, PS5 is still extremely expensive. I guess a bit like Xbox Series X, and there's no alternative. So I considered getting both Xbox Series S and PlayStation 5 at once a couple of months ago when I got my new console. But then I decided not to. The bundles offered by EE when you purchase it through your mobile operator were not offering standalone PlayStation. They had all the other subscriptions, and with all other subscriptions in the bundle, like for instance PlayStation Now services or games thrown in, the expense just goes up and up, and it's not really necessary because I pay for the subscription separately in any case. And on Microsoft, on the Microsoft front, what I get is Microsoft rewards, the rewards points, and then I can claim every month, every second month, a freebie because I acquire 12,000 rewards points. And then if you are to purchase it through the operator, then you are basically not able to do that because it's a contract for 2 years. So I gave it a miss. I'll just wait for the price to drop, or depending on how the channel goes, I could run a fundraising campaign in order to get PlayStation 5, which is what lots of people do. I'm in two minds about doing it because everything I do is charitable, and then actually focusing on raising the funds in order to get it feels a bit different. But it's at the same time also charitable because if people contribute with everyone throwing in like a quid, and you have 400, 500 people coming in and contributing, and then you get PlayStation 5 and then the stream of PlayStation 5. It's as simple as that. I watched some other streamers, and they basically just got the whole revenue in one night because people enjoyed the streams, and people enjoyed that degree of participation, and they knew that this investment would just enhance their overall experience. So that's the way it can be done. But at the moment, my focus absolutely is charitable fundraising. We've got Mind UK presently, the major fundraising campaign lasting 6 months. I've set up my time for 31st of December. And, during this period, we'll see how it goes, and we'll try to get in Epilepsy Scotland, Shelter, and National Autistic Society. So we'll get all of them going, because each one of them will be actually catering for a different group of people and offering different types of support. And many of our participants had experienced certain issues and had gone through periods of serious illness, and some people have relatives who are affected by epilepsy, autism, and therefore I think a variety is essential for people to choose what they feel is important for them, something they feel really quite close to. Our friend says, yeah, I said to my wife today I would like a Series X, but I can get a digital PS5. It will work out cheaper. Well, I think if you look around, you probably are going to be able to get it on a very good price. So you know, it's just a question of basically exploring what is available. I'm I'm always in two minds about buying it second hand or getting it for somebody else. Although this would depend on the condition of the actual console, because I have people who are giving it, you know, away because they're just upgrading. They don't need it anymore, or there may be some other reasons. But actually, they looked after the console or the accessory, the gadget, very, very well. So there's no problem with it. And it's just, you know, it's worth exploring it and finding out what this person was like and whether they looked after the console. And you know, there are the ways in which one can obviously discover. And then you actually have it on a good price. The other day, somebody was selling Xbox Series S here in my area. I spotted it on Facebook group. It was brand new, boxed up, £50. He just wanted to get rid of it. I don't know why. So you know, I could have gone for it, but obviously I already have one, so there's no need to be purchasing another. But that seemed to me like too good a deal. 50 quid for a brand new Series S. Yeah, I think the various groups that are offering these kinds of goods on Facebook, like Facebook bargains, you know, the local one, whatever you could say, Camden Town bargains, or Barnet bargains. They have various groups on Facebook that are connected to various participants who live locally, and you get the best deals in there, better than Gumtree or you know any other online kind of advertising. All right, so just bear with me. I have got to see something that's come in. Somebody has been contacting us. Just bear with me. Okay. So we've seen all the bounties and all that needs to be done here for Hunter, and the next step is just having a look at the skyline, the city, before jumping into another battle. The battle is going to be in Siva against Vex. So let's just crack on. But friends, I can actually share some of the messages I received, which I think is really truly wonderful. I had been talking to various people about the campaign which is basically raising funds for Mind UK, and I had some responses that come in. Some came in today in the afternoon, and some actually popped up literally as we were doing the stream. So that really is absolutely extraordinary, and I'm very happy that my fundraising campaign and all we do here is becoming so quickly interactive. And I'll read it out for you so you can see what has been said. So first of all, the campaign is for Mind, and I heard from Mind because they had spotted my postings and they've seen the campaign, which is on Tiltify, and this is what they said. So that's amazing. They said, "Thank you so much for choosing to fundraise for Mind UK through your channel. Daniel, it means the world to us to have your support." And then the signature of the person. Did you hear that? That's amazing. It means the world to us to have your support, because I think I'm one of the very few gamers who got engaged with Mind through Tiltify. You know, there are other people doing fundraising. I personally have not seen gamers connecting with this charity through Tiltify for doing this sort of activity, basically raising funds for the charity, and that's fantastic. And then was another message coming in a bit later. That's just right as we kicked off with the stream. And they said, "Thank you so much, Daniel. It means the world to us." Well, that is truly fantastic. I'm overjoyed. And I'm amazed with how quickly these things can be accelerated, how quickly these connections can be made, you know? So that is what I heard from Mind. I've had several people sharing the posting and connecting with the fundraising campaign. They've not contributed, but I asked everybody to consider that doing the PR and talking to others and sharing postings is of huge benefit, because the donations will always come at the end. And we had several people who have been really sharing and contributing purely by doing the PR for us. So, and that's to do with the posting saying fundraising campaign on my channel is for my charity. They save lives. Your contributions will make a lot of difference. So that's fantastic. So thank you to everyone. And also on Instagram, we had some people contacting us, and I'll tell you who they are. Just bear with me a second. Bear with us. We had Andreu, we had Process Black Design, we had Jag3R, we had Crush, we had Car, we had Primo Sane, we had Crush Again, and Aishanita. All of them had engaged with the campaign, and all of them had promoted our campaign, Gamers for Mental Health, for Mind UK, to various hubs that they run and they're involved with. So that's fantastic, and you could see, just as I'm talking, that is the way to do it, because the idea is to get the greatest possible public awareness in our local community on what these needs really are. And then once people become fully aware, they will come in, assist, help, and contribute. So that's the way to do it. So thank you to everyone for supporting the campaign, and thank you for promoting it, and indeed for connecting with us on Twitter and Instagram, and here on Twitch, of course. It's funny because we are to get to deceive us, and it's taken already a bit of time before I actually managed to sit in almost 90 minutes. And our friend says here, "That's good. Mind sent you a message, and some other streamers are connecting with you, mate." Well, thanks very much indeed for kind words, but I was expecting, interactivity because of the way the things run in the past. But I've got to say, this was like really fast, because I was doing the postings just before I commenced with the stream, so it was after 6 o'clock, and this has all come in literally within the last 90 minutes. So that's wonderful. And it just, earlier in this stream, I indicated that our gaming communities have got a huge amount of power. The power, unfortunately, is channeled down the road of influencers, reality shows, fake news, and all the kinds of silly things which are posted on various social networks. But we have got this power to raise the awareness. As we gain, we can talk about our issues and what we've gone through, as to why actually uniting ourselves together will change the world. You know, 4 billion people, like 4 billion, not million, billion people engage with the world of video gaming. And every one of those gamers is passionate about what they do, and every one of them will have, you know, their life experience. So we can channel the new comms and the new tech in order to make better connections, in order to raise the awareness, and then, you know, bring about the change. That's the bottom line. That's what we want to do. For people not to feel alone, not to feel isolated, not to feel under the weather, for people to feel, you know, connected. And like I said earlier, talking is extremely important, and my platforms are called always with dialogue at the end, you know, film dialogue, music dialogue, psychology dialogue, gaming dialogue, because a dialogue means at least 2 people involved, right? So when 2 people are involved, neither of them is alone, and I think that's the bottom line. So that's very important. Yeah, that's right. Our friend is asking, are you going to be doing some strikes? I really have got to get on with strikes, but you know, you got to bear with me. It's beta. I'm testing everything at once, and I've got this set up in here, so checking whether the chat works on Stream Elements, whether the chat works on Lightstream, whether it works here on Twitch, whether the stream's coming in right. And I'm pleased to say that the picture quality is quite good. There's no interference, there's no lag, and that's really truly rewarding. I'm very happy because, you know, I invested in the new system, which was quite costly, and it's giving us the best possible results. You know, to tell you the truth, to see that people are connecting with the fundraising so quickly is the greatest reward, you know, because that is what I wanted to achieve, that is what I wanted to see. And several people from mine contacted me, so it wasn't just one person, several, as well as the streamers from around the world who are, you know, participating with shares, and also, I guess, people who had experienced some sort of difficulty, and they appreciate that Gamers for Mental Health is being created, and that we can obviously wave the flag. You know, that's the idea. There we are. Heroic strikes. We'll try to get those bounties sorted. I completed almost everything yesterday. You know, all the bounties, Vanguard and Sivas were being completed. The strikes were quite ferocious, so there was a lot of activity, but you know, it was good. Yep, Sivas, thanks very much for asking. Siva Heroic, and then Nightfall and Raids. These are the very best elements of Destiny 1. I've not heard from Sekapupu, and I'm really surprised. Sekapupu is our dedicated Destiny gamer and video gaming veteran from Finland, and he is always ready with this
Barracks has brought unsettling news. The Devil Splicers have used Siva to resurrect an old foe. Tenix the Scarred has become Tenix Perfected.
Tanix's crew has joined the Splicers. They're using Siva to reanimate his body and overtake his territory. Lord Saladin says you were indispensable in old Russia, Guardian. We thought you should be the one to handle this.
There we are, it looks like we joined somebody else's strike.
prevented Siva from restarting Taniks's mercenary operation. The nanites continue to evolve their function.
The Guardian will have plenty of opportunities to study Siva. The Devils are far from defeated.
We don't have that skeleton, so I can't really... yeah, that's right. Oh, thank you. I really like eating those rockets, believe you me. Let me just depart on the session, and then I'll answer the messages that have come in. Bear with us. When I reduced the sounds, was it better? Could you actually hear me? Because I've turned it down for about 15%, so it's gone down to 50%. Our friend's asking, our friend said, if you need a moderator for your channel, let me know if I can welcome people when they join the stream, invade, you're busy talking to others, and I can chat with them until you're free. Sure, actually, you can do that at any time, you know, at any time, whenever you see that the action is fierce and new people coming in, you can always comment and communicate. There's no problem at all. I have 2 teams of moderators which are in the US, and they monitor all the activity on the channel, and they're basically like prevention of abuse. I've not had any of it generally on my channel when I was streaming Destiny. I did have some problematic people coming in when streaming Warzone and Apex, obviously competitive shooters and that. So I have those people just to make sure that the details are picked up, and then, you know, basically these individuals are reported and everything else is being dealt with by the external party. So very important for every channel that is serious to have fully, actually the full arsenal of different types of tools which will prevent any form of online abuse, because we know that various activities online are very susceptible to people who are abusive and nasty. But because obviously I'm a mature gamer and the channel is being run, with a sort of emphasis on serious issues, I get very, very rarely anybody coming in like that. It'd be just always through random matchmaking in some of those games, not otherwise on my Twitch channel or anything else that I do. So I think overall, if I look in a period of 5 years, I've had nobody of that sort with my Destiny streams, not a single one, and I had maybe half dozen overall in all the games I've played. So we're talking about very many participants. We're talking about probably 10-15,000 participants, if not more, because you get random matchmaking in Warzone and in Apex in particular, I'd say, because with Warzone I had that sort of steady crew regiment and several squads coming in frequently. But again, from time to time you bring in new people. You sometimes got like a one member of your regiment coming in. Others will be coming into the randoms, and safety, online safety, is always of the greatest possible importance for me. So the game volume's too high. Okay, we'll turn this down, yeah? Our friend says that he couldn't hear me at all due to the game volume. We'll put it down to 25%. We'll try another strike and you'll be able to tell me, right? So that's the thing. I've got to play it by ear, you know. That's what the reason that's why I'm doing this beta, is to find out exactly what will be the best setup and the best system for everyone. Yeah, the trouble is with firefights, explosions, and that. The only thing, I mean, I've done with my streams previously, turning down to the bare minimum, it's like 25%. But you get sometimes younger participants coming and say we can't hear the game, you know. Well, and I guess then I can also turn down the chat, so one can increase the volume on one's own device. Right, so before we go in, we'll just have a look at we'll look at the bounties. So we've got Strike Efficient, completed, Strange Coin and Reputation up. We will have Vanguard Elite, complete strikes in the Sacrifices playlist, and then, oh, that's it, that's like 2 of those. So we're doing alright with Rapid Kills, getting assists, Oh, I see. Secondary medals and primary medals we need to get. Fine. Rapid enemy kills. Medals and... Okay, we'll just carry on. Seems fine. And I've got also that good fusion rifle. That will be giving us extra. Our friend Sandman says, yeah, no problem. He understands what these moderators, the third-party moderators, will do. And saying, no worries, I'm just letting you know in case anyone else joins the stream. Absolutely. As I said, for any newcomers, anybody who pops in, please feel free to engage and talk freely. Welcome them. You know, I have other regulars who sometimes participate in the streams here. I mean, some of the regulars with Warzone and with Apex, we're doing exactly the same thing. And when a stream becomes really busy, then it's obviously that assistance is needed. When you have quite a few people coming and talking and communicating between each other, and that indeed is something that is extremely important. A lot of people do not like feeling ignored if they type messages. And doing a raid, for instance, or doing a Nightfall strike will always prevent anyone from responding immediately, just like you said. Therefore, it's important that somebody else is there who can actually assist. Let's go in.
The Vex still mourn the loss of the Nexus Mind. But for the Vex, time is relative. In one moment, a construct is lost. In the next, it is reborn. When a powerful part of the network is lost, the restorative mind is summoned. It has begun creating a bridge through time. A bridge that, if it is not destroyed, will see the Nexus Mind reborn.
I'm detecting a series of concentric barriers around the bridge site.
They protect the time bridge and seek to undo what we have done.
Alright, so let's carry on. We've got another strike to complete there. I think what I want to do is to our fusion rifle. Oh, too close to that tutorial. My friend Simon says the sound's a lot better now. Yeah, I've turned down the game sound quite considerably. But to tell you the truth, I'm annoyed that all of that's happening because the settings were exactly as they were previously on my streams. You know, there's no difference in terms of me fiddling with it or anything like that. It's all down to that completely unnecessary update that they applied in February, and that's
Unless
changed
I'm
everything.
mistaken, barrier technology of this nature is unstable.
Welcome to my fusion Nigel.
She's right. Find an arc source. You can use it to short out the barriers.
It's a very good one, you know, that dark with spite. Very, very deadly. I definitely need some extra ammunition. There's a good one there. Okay. They're really very deadly in that respect. Killed it now. That's annoying. I remember doing Nightfall strikes with some of our community members, and when you get the Strafer Shanks, these are the first enemy objects that you need to. Picking up any other members here to help me out, just myself. And to tell the truth, I don't really like them on this side, you know. I just like having the two members joining us. It makes a lot of difference, really, because it's a team up game. And all the two is a lot more enjoyable. I keep forgetting it's Sealer, you know. I shouldn't die. I should have known. It was that thing from behind that kept hitting me. Let's stand there. Okay, so. Oh. Well, I was with no ammunition earlier. And that's the reason that's why it got killed so fast. So. What is going on? Where's the ammunition? Just this. Well, I need to eliminate him because he's causing a major headache. He actually killed me. Last match. Not last match, the previous part of the strike. Good. Still haven't done anything on my sword, which is annoying. Oh, there's the... keep forgetting that in Destiny 1 you can't be grappling, you know? Go away. Where is it? Tricky with some other loot. I've got nowhere to hide. But it's funny because Siva Strike's usually busy, lots of people coming in and having additional participants, but I guess everyone's going to Destiny 2 and tonight in particular on Saturday. It's got this really dodgy fusion rifle, similar to mine. Really powerful. Well, at least something. Although something. No. To look at that one. I'm getting stuck in here. Boo! Oh, I've got something in there. Shut. Well, I mean, they've got the same sort of fusion rifle like me, you know. Really, yeah. By the time it hits me, I must have recoil. No, not ammunition. Margot Loop doesn't have a big magazine, so that's the only trouble with it. Otherwise, it's quite good. But in Sivas, it doesn't always work. Taking damage because I'm too far. Oh no, yet again. Well, we'll do this a bit more aggressive now. This is, too long. information that we'll be picking up here. Oh, no, business done. We've got some. Right, so better eliminate the other ones on top. Because otherwise we won't be able to get that orb. Bang on. Say, that's ridiculous. My dark drinker just didn't seem to deliver this time. So anyway, and you can see oh, this has reduced the number of rooms. Really just 5. I need 35. Get me. Out of ammunition. Well, that's not very good, is it? I've not been playing Seavers for a little while, so a bit rusty, but always good fun to play. Always good fun to play. I guess for myself, in Destiny 1, some of my favourite activities were Seavers and Nightfall Strikes. Finally, somebody joining. I can't believe it. Someone's joining me in here. Look at that. Thank you, Fran. Everything will be a lot easier. It's really similar to Nightfalls. Seavers are just really activities for PvPs, you know? And that's the way it should be, because this is a teams-based game, and it's always the best fun playing together with others. Our friend says, well, this strike seems to be quite tough. Well, yeah. I mean, some Seaver strikes are very tough. They're very similar to Nightfall, and I was surprised actually yesterday we played 2 or 3 of them. They appeared to be too easy. And this one's turning out to be a bit more difficult than the ones we played yesterday. The one with the big ogre at the bottom was too easy. We just seemed to have raced through it. Well, I'm not sure we can look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Fenced item, he's got everything there. Oh cool, thank you. Thank you. Oh, 2 fence. We can breathe. We can support each other. Revive. Yep, that's right. The orb helps us to get into the gate. I didn't want to really carry the orb because obviously there were too many enemies for me out there. Or should I say I just wasn't good enough? Sandman says that's what you need, another player to help out. Yeah, we've got 2 people now, so 2 people actually coming in, which makes it a lot easier. The way the strike was evolving, actually for myself, was like
Did
a
you know the
3-piece
Vex
strike.
are organic? Within their middle frame, a heart beats, and
I'm
they
not sure
shudder
whether
at
they
your
provide
approach.
maintenance anymore.
An approximation
I'm
of
not
fear.
100% sure. Because I know that at one stage they were not providing maintenance. I remember once they had the initial 6 seasons in Destiny 2, we were just really furious. We had lots of glitches and problems here. So I'm not sure what's happening in the meantime. Well, these games are expensive to run. Massively multiplayer, one of the multiplayer games, and running the game. The strike come forward. Wasn't bothered with the ads, which is what some people do. They just go for the loot. They try and yeah, this vision map is very good. My friend says, I wouldn't say you weren't good enough. No, I was just joking, really. I was just joking, I was alright. Middling, you know. Sometimes when you are in a PvP match, you know, competitive guys, they'll come up with some statements. So try to turn it into a joke. The game is not about being good enough or being or anything like that. It's all about having fun. And I quite enjoy sometimes grinding some of the strike players where I can see that the game's having a laugh. Minotaurs down there. Oh no, someone got me from above. But the other guy's already gone forward, so they're probably not going to bother to revive me. Because I was going to really look at all these ads, tackle them. I can see some other people join us. How are you guys doing? We have some other viewers in addition to our friend Sandman. Hi you guys, what are you doing and how are you doing and what games are you playing in addition to Destiny? I'm quite curious to hear, because yesterday we talked about quite a spread, quite a few titles mentioned. I'm quite curious to see what other people are
The Nexus Mind
tackling.
must have been a vital resource, The very appearance of the restorative
Loads
mind
of big
means
releases
we
coming
have
up
the
shortly.
Vex off balance. Press the advantage, Guardian.
The vast majority of our friends who bought, pre-ordered Diablo 4 are playing it already. And that's what I've seen across the board yesterday. Void for the streamers.
That's the time bridge and the restorative mind.
You can see, for instance, the other two chaps who got in, they're not interested in doing a strike. They were just interested in grabbing loot. So they're doing what we call speed runs. They ignore everything and everyone, and they just literally spearhead the effort. They just rather forward and
That capacitor
get
just
to the
lit up.
boss.
You know what to do.
I'm not that keen on that sort of style. It's not supportive to anyone else in the squad, or indeed if you are in a major team of the match. I can tell you that there is a glitch in here, so if everyone stood in here,
That got its
right,
attention.
and the boss would just get locked like in there, and then just use a gallop.
Once again, the
Wow,
mirror of
as you
time
could see, the other
stands
chaps
whole.
are really fast,
Within,
and
the
the boss
reflections
was
of the
gone.
past shimmer as starlight.
Never mind, we'll
If
stay
the
with them for
mind
the
had
next match.
succeeded,
Unless
Venus
they
may have
depart.
gone the way of Mercury.
Oh, Sister Dracos
Thanks
is
to
here.
you,
Hello.
Venus shall stay in perfect living.
How are you doing, Sister Dracos? How's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Sunny's here. Sunny, how are you doing? My God, it's been ages since I've seen you. Sunny is one of our Warzone regiment members. How are you? How is everything? It's been a long while. Sunny has been following Daniel Miller Gaming for 2 years, 6 months, 2 days, 2 hours and 35 seconds. Amazing. Me and Sunny played loads of Warzone games. You remember that, Sunny? And also with Carter and with Spares. They always ask about you. You played any of the games with them recently? I've not actually. So good to see you. Sister Daka says, "Hey Simon, sorry I didn't respond to your message. I got kind of carried away playing Destiny today." Yeah, you know. Sunny said, "What's up, you all?" Well, what can I tell you? Destiny. Destiny 1, Destiny 2, the new season. Lots of good things here.
The Taken King is dead. Yet still his armies writhe and claw at our
The
worlds.
channels.
Even
back
as you led the assault on the
online,
Dreadnought, a
and,
powerful
I've reworked
Taken
the
war
channels
beast
somewhat.
fled for the safety
So
of the
we
shrine
have
to
some
Oryx.
different targets.
The would-be
targets really,
Prince
to
Moloch
support our
works
charities
to
and
perfect a dark
work on
sorcery.
fundraising for them.
He
Gamers for mental
must
health,
be
it's called.
destroyed.
And but you know, everything's good. No longer are we suffering from the pandemic, and life's good. Loads of new games come in the months. You're playing Battlefield, of course, Sam. You're still grinding Warzone with my friends. Curious. What's been on your decks lately? Sonny said that I was the glitch.
Seal,
but you're not
door,
played as Strike
5
Sunny.
rooms. Know
It's
what
when
we
3
need here?
players actually
A
sit
tomb
behind
husk.
a pillar, the boss freezes, and the boss is unkillable otherwise, you know. And then when the boss freezes, you just use your galloping, and that's it. We've done it with one, well, he's actually doing something that he came 3 times in the US, in the chat, and he's like a master speedrunner and a master wall hacker. But that's not like a wall hack, the prohibited software. He actually knows how to walk to the walls in here in order to get to the boss. So he was actually teaching us how to do that. It was really weird. To just walk to the walls. So how to do that? How is this possible? Do you know how to do it? So he literally knew everything about every single strike and everything was smooth. Right, so someone needs to pick up that ball. Sun has been with us for a long while. Well, it does say there, 2 years, 6 months, 2 days, and 2 hours. But we've done loads of these matches. I said one thing. Sunny does not like snipers who become the opponents. You remember that? One's own snipers are always great, but actually coming across some of those guys like sharpshooters now it's really tough. You played Warzone before, Sunny? Jackal says, I'm very good, Daniel, thanks for asking. Very good to hear that, sir. Very good to hear. I was just saying to Sandman that I had quite a lot of responses from Mind UK and from the charity that I'm supporting and doing the major fundraising for that moment. And we've heard from several people who work for Mind, and also we had several streamers from around the world, really, just supporting us by doing a bit of PR and sharing and making sure that everybody else knew about the fundraising. It was really terrific. It's amazing how the whole thing works, you know. Tiltify really helped because they made it very, very interactive. So when you go to that page, you can see the milestones, then you can see the polls, you can see the kind of rewards that got set up for every milestone. So it's really, really fun. People like it. It's very much a fun game. The only difference is obviously this is about fundraising. Sunny says he's a silent watcher. Right. How's everything in Amsterdam? I'm curious. I told you, a friend of mine who was a doctor, well, he's in Amsterdam, but he actually went to Germany. I heard him recently. And he said that things are going to be tough, but everything's very expensive. Things are very expensive here, of course. It's crazy. Can you imagine, one croissant, in Tesco's costs £1.20. It's just really... I bought a loaf of bread for £1.20. One croissant, exactly the same price. That is so tough for many people, you know. I've seen so many people just buying tins. It's ridiculous.
Oryx may be gone, but the sympathetic vibrations of his shrine still resonate across the cosmos. There's power here. Great power.
I was wondering why we were here.
Yeah, I forgot where I need to go. Catching up. Go on. What's happening in Amsterdam? I want to know. What's the weather having? It's been very warm today. It's 23 degrees. But then at night, it drops to about 6. Can you imagine that? Literally proper summer, early in the day, and then after the summer, after sunset, it becomes really cold. So anytime I go out for a walk,
beware the blight, Guardian. Locke's power is absolute here.
Warm jackets.
The blight is the black goop, right? What is that
It's been
stuff
very
anyway?
strange weather, I have to say. Really strange.
Darkness,
It's been very
given
wet for several
form by
months,
Malak's
and then
cruel will.
very cold. Then recently quite warm, but extremely cold at night. I guess it's more lucky than it is. Supercharged. What's our friend doing? Acrobatics. Sunny says same, like heat's about 23 degrees. Salman says, I got to go guys, chill with the wife for a bit and catch you all later. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Salman. Really appreciate it, and thanks very much for supporting the channel and for being here with us today. And at least you have a very good evening, and wish you a very, very good Sunday as well. Won't be able to go to church tomorrow because unfortunately our priest is very ill. He's been in hospital now for a few weeks, and really very, very sad. Still in the prayers. So we hope that he will recover very, very soon and again be as healthy as possible. Lots of people have been affected by illness, and I've lost so many people.
Beware, Guardian. The blight will drain your strength, your speed.
Shocking.
Do not let
Not
Malak
everyone
dominate
died of
this
COVID.
shrine.
Many people suffered due to that isolation and inability to get out, which was affecting other the health conditions. So, really tragic. Really tragic. Summer, Sunny says in Amsterdam, no locals. That's a real pity. Well, is it to take the people international? That's the problem. Huge global workforce that we in terms of the local areas and neighbours and things. So I'm wondering. Again, on the other hand, still something that's you have some parts of the country who still have residents. But not the right. It's very lovely. I want to destroy the town. Strapper says that he would really love to visit Amsterdam and Holland. He says he is in California, from California. You know, I wouldn't mind going to California. I've never been. I've seen those beaches, but never been there. Where about in California are you? Santa Monica. is way too loud. I'll turn it down. Sandman told me this as well, so we'll put it back to maybe 18%. Is that better now, Sandman? I don't know what it's done to Twitch app, you know? It's just changed everything in February and just caused so many problems to so many gamers and streamers. Because the game levels are not compatible anymore with what you got on your game.
Did she just compliment us?
The game sound together, the one coming from broadcaster is just crazy. Well, I don't have any skeleton keys, so I don't, I can't really claim anything with them. Oh, I got that. I picked it up in the last strike. And I picked up that Ankara skill, which is absolutely no good. Sestradako says, hard to hear you. Is it better now, folks? I mean, the trouble that I'm having at the moment is with the Twitch app. They completely destroyed it in February with the latest update. It's completely useless. One can't broadcast on Xbox at all due to problems with audio, and it's got massive interference. And when you talk, it's almost like you can hear the voice coming and going, like talking in the wind, that sort of thing. And with PlayStation, it's not as bad, but sometimes if you listen to the stream, the voice gets accelerated. So it feels like one is talking very, very fast, and then you get stoppages where there's no sound at all. And then, like you said now, the actual mixture of the game and chat is not good enough, because if you look at the settings, the game settings, have a look here. The game settings for the audio were previously 25%, right? And chat volume is 71%. So 25% of the game should be like really, really seriously down and very meek compared to the full blast. So put it back to 18%, right? Chat volume is 71%, so that's quite loud. So I'm not sure what the problem is. I'll listen to the stream afterwards, because when we were testing it yesterday, the chat was too loud. It was just like literally way above the game sound. So I'm not sure what it is. Sunny says that there is some random fireworks show in front of my house. Is there a celebration? Is there some special day today, or something like a holiday? Or is it just people celebrating someone's birthday and then buying the whole lot of fireworks? Because the fireworks in Britain, they're kind of scarce and quite expensive. And we have that fireworks day, which is on the 5th of November, called Guy Fawkes Day. Basically, this Guy Fawkes was a character who wants to blow up our parliament. It was in the 17th, 18th century. And the day has been kind of initially commemorated and then later celebrated. So on that day, what we do is we have like a fireworks day countrywide, and everyone, obviously, well, not everyone, but people who like fireworks can do whatever they like, and then obviously for the new year, and that's about it. You don't really see and hear much of fireworks in Britain throughout the year, but on those 2 days. Well, obviously we can have sometimes celebrations like our coronation with the new king, or last year the Queen's Jubilee, and then you have massive big fireworks, which are absolutely spectacular. But on the local level, it's not really that popular. And when I've been to various countries on the continent, particularly in Southern Europe, go to Croatia, go to Slovenia, go to Italy, plenty of fireworks in there. They keep buying it in huge stockpiles, and so it's huge fun for them. But proper pyrotechnics, and the money that goes into that is just a lot of money. And Killer Kali, what's that? What's Killer Kali? Sester Draco says, cool, we have fireworks in July once a year. Well, that's for the Independence Day, isn't it? The 4th of July. So then there's massive fireworks everywhere. well, you guys are still celebrating it, you know. And you should, I guess. That's the most important day in the history of the United States. So there would be and should be plenty of fireworks. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of American friends. I was a member of various American institutions years back, so I'm very familiar. There was, I remember, I tell you, I remember going to, hang on a minute, I'll put something else on for you to see. Just bear with me a second. I've got this very nice overlay, so we'll put one overlay then for you to see. It's going to be good fun. Sunny needs to see it because he's not seen any overlays with my stream before, right? And you can see I've got overlays thanks to Streamlabs and thanks to the new setup that I managed to create in here. So just let me see. So that's night stream. We'll see dialogue. Yeah. We'll go to tower quickly. Can you see that? So it's really quite cool with the chat in there. So when you type chat, then hang on, I'll put my character there. See the view. Hang on, let's just stand up. Be nicer. There, let me see. It's probably better. Looking prettier. Looking at the traveller. Yeah, looking good, I think. Yeah, I was just going to say that I was saying to Sunny, because Sunny would have not seen this, I was testing it in beta this week, and I tested it for about 2 or 3 weeks because I had some problems with his overlays, which didn't really work properly, and it's very difficult to get, you know, proper from these companies. But eventually I managed to set it up, and actually I've got separate overlays for every one of the games that we played here. Like separate overlays for Mass Effect, for Apex, for Warzone, for Call of Duty, for Destiny. So you know, really, and they all look really cool. They're like really beautifully designed, and they all have the same thing, which is you can chat through to this sort of setup, which you can see now on the screen, or you can have them for the live coverage, or when be stream ending, stream starting. So it's really good. One could not do this previously on consoles. This was impossible. One could only have this if you were streaming through a PC. But they've obviously advanced technologically, and the new setup is directly through cloud. So I'm streaming through Lightstream, and then Lightstream is importing from Stream Elements the overlays, and they all come up on the screen like this, which I find is extraordinary. You know, the quality of it is incredible. So it's really cool to be able to have it, and also they have a service charge which is not very high, and for the quality that we are getting, and for the interactivity that this is stimulating, it's absolutely terrific value. So I'm really happy. But just coming back to what I said, presently I'm testing the new equipment and testing the whole thing, because I got the concept for the channel which is focused on gamers and mental health and charitable fundraising, and exactly the same as it was before, helping everyone who is in a difficulty or experiencing some degree of vulnerability in the local community. But it's just more streamlined with more prominent features exposing the creed, the issues, and the task that we have in here, and also making it more interactive with other forums. So that's connecting it with Reddit, with Discord, with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So all together for everything to be like a one cohesive interactive entity, but with this emphasis on, as I said, connectivity and support. So that's most important. What do you think? Do you think this? I mean, is this looking quite good? I had very positive feedback from our community members during the week, and I was very grateful for that. It just seemed like a hugely rewarding experience, because I spent so much time, first of all, trying to get the internet connection, which is superior to what we do have in our local area, and finally, again, thanks to the development of technology, I was able to resolve it. I've got now 4G ultra-fast internet, and it is sufficient for streaming, much better quality on every level. And then once our area converts to 5G, a few months, then we'll have even better speeds, so the picture quality and everything is going to be significantly better. But don't have to be waiting for fiber anymore, which is obviously most important. Sester Draco says, "Yeah, I like it. It really looks cool." Sunny, are you still playing Warzone? You played any matches with Carter, with Spurs, with Paphos, any other guys at all? I'm quite curious, because I've not played Warzone of late, and they changed maps, and I was very upset to see that the old map, basically, of Verdansk had gone, because we all got to know it so well, and I didn't really like the map which was in the Pacific. It's like a Second World War map that didn't gel with me too well. It was just like a different game. I much preferred, and I've seen they've got now several maps, but I've not tried it, so I need to set it up and basically crack on with it. The problem with Warzone is this massive big update. It does require like at least 200 gigabytes of free space and hard drives for my console, so that's causing me some serious issues, Also, my Xbox Series S, the new one, doesn't have more than 320 gigs. The rest of it is used for the operating system, and it's really tricky because you can't have many games installed. I mean, I'll get 2 external hard drives, for the consoles, but I just want to see how this would work streaming-wise with those enhancements, and I think it's really kind of looking quite good. And yeah, Sunny, are you still there? Are you still there? Are you playing Warzone? You've heard from the other guys much? Because I'm in contact with Carter, Spurs, and Paphos on a regular basis, but we're not actually playing the game live online of late. I played Apex quite a bit. Sunny, I think, also played Apex, and I had quite a lot of new friends coming in from there. Really, some great gamers. Some people really kind of enthusiastic about ethical gaming and all we do here. So really good. All right. So I think what we'll do is I displayed the new overlay for Sunny to see. Sunny had not seen this before, and I guess most of our people have not seen it before. And Sester Dako says, "I want to know if Warzone is fun and worth playing." Sunny, can you tell our friend what you think of Warzone? Hope you didn't get fed up with it. Well, I can certainly tell our friend that Warzone is similar to, I guess, Apex and Destiny, because it requires a major team effort. So it's a game you got to play as a team, and the team needs to be quite cohesive and quite tactical, and a team that really kind of works together in order to complete certain tasks. And the difference between PUBG and Warzone is in, I guess, the severity of the punishment you get if you're not careful. With PUBG, you can't be brought back, right? So unless your mate is near you, you're gonna die, and then you stay in the game up to the point your squad's eliminated. But you can't be revived, brought back, your banner can't be collected, whatever. Warzone has got a very good system through which the maximum team effort is on collecting loot and currency. So you're collecting loot in order to be as strong as possible. You can then, with certain currency, get your loadout, and then you buy your loadout, which is dropped. You have 10, 15,000, I can't remember, of the currency in order to get it. And also with the currency, you are going to be able to bring your mates back. You can actually buy the mates back with the currency that you collected. So basically, the strategy of the game is you drop further out, which means you're going to be somewhere near the circle, near the line that's closing in, and then you will be immediately looting and collecting as much money as possible, everyone, in order to have it for later in the game, because your mates might get killed and therefore you are going to be able to bring them back. So the actual interactivity between the members is critical, and more interactive, more mutually dependent the team is, and the better. So we have that regiment, and at one stage I think we had about 50 people in it. I'd say probably 3 to 4 regular squads of 4, and then we would be switching from, on my stream we would have always 2 or 3 people available to come in, and then obviously having a regular squad really helps. It makes it much easier to know exactly what to do, and it can be very, very entertaining, hugely enjoyable, and great fun when you're doing it like that. Warzone is not the game to be played with the randoms generally, and particularly if you're not an experienced PvP player, because it attracts very many people who are quite abrasive and very competitive. So if one is a bit sensitive, then one can get all kinds of things said, and I'm very, obviously zero tolerance towards abuse. I'm not keen on it, and therefore it's better to have people who are your regulars. Some people like playing it solo in duos. I think it's much better going for the full squad, because the games have been created in order to be played together with others. So Diablo, Destiny, Elder Scrolls, it's all about the squad. It's all about the number of people. Elder Scrolls Online, I meant. About the group of people that come in and then do different tasks together. So that's exactly how it is. And we're spoiled for choice, because if you're looking at shooters, you have PUBG, which is again a very, very good game, excellent game, tactical and strategic. The only problem with PUBG is it does have a lot of hackers, and these guys on PCs, as well as lots of glitches and bots, and that's been extremely unpopular in recent years, and lots of criticism launched at the developer because they were not fixing it. Then we have Fortnite, which again is a loot and shooter. Then you have Apex. I'd say, for me, superior to some of the other games of the same kind. Very similar to Titanfall, but highly enjoyable, very funny characters. You have these so-called legends, and you collect different kinds of dialogue that you can use, similar to emotes. Just bear with me. So just lost my stream. Just a moment. Yeah, I got it back on. Yes, I was going to say that I really love Apex. It started originally with a very small, kind of tight map that looked like a deathmatch, but actually they developed everything, and they provided a selection of maps. They introduced some new characters with special skills, and it became quite tactical. The maps are not as big as Warzone, but somewhere, medium size. And again, it is a game that requires maximum team effort, and you've got to select the legend, the character that's got particular skills in order to deliver within the squad, and really, really good fun. And then you have obviously Warzone and Destiny. Warzone is a tactical military simulation game, which I think excelled on every level. I love the game. It's amazing. Probably my favorite military simulation game of all times. Our friends in the regiment told me that another game called Squad, the B Squad, is a PC game that appears to be the best tactical military simulation, but I've not played it, so I couldn't really comment on it. I'm not playing any PC games at the moment. Exclusively, everything is on consoles due to my sort of current setup. But I will try out some PC games very soon. I'm planning to get another PC setup in here, so it's going to be like a comeback to my PC gaming, because I started out on PC many years ago, and then I converted to consoles. So I'm really kind of cross-platform gamer through and through, so to speak. But there aren't that many interesting PC games coming out anymore. There are either strategy games, which are with a different type of gameplay, or generally some of the games that we get on consoles as well. So yeah, that's right. We're spoiled for choice, because at the end of the day, having such high quality games, looters and shooters, is making it difficult for us to be able to fit everything in. And during my last 5 years of streaming, particularly during the first 3 years, I had lost the ability to play other games at all, in addition to Destiny, Warzone, and Apex, simply because the streams were taking up most of the time, and there was no time for anything else. And I missed really the times I play everything as a single player, like games like Mass Effect or Oblivion, Skyrim, Gears of War, and I obviously had managed to sort of catch up with some of these in the meantime, because I've not streamed now for a little while. But on the other hand, I really could feel the big difference after going back to single player games or doing things by myself compared to the actual experience of a stream. Being a streamer, having your own community fully on board, is so interactive and so encouraging and so rewarding. Can't be compared with anything else, because you are never alone. Anytime you come live, there'll be about a few people coming in. You've seen the guys who have like 25, 30,000 followers, but the regulars will be always coming in by the dozen, right? So you never have like 1,000 people watching at the same time and commenting. You always have a small group of people who are fully engaged, that make really like a backbone of a community. And what I had with my channel is that the vast majority of people who came in were Destiny veterans, and people who actually love Destiny, and they all communicate, always. They always come in and say hello and talk to others. So, around 500 people are always there at hand. Like yesterday, I was doing the beta, and I've not talked to Matthias for more than 3 years. I've not talked to him probably since 2019, before the pandemic. And, I actually spoke about him in the stream. I don't think he would have heard me because he was at work. And then he just popped in afterwards to say hello, and he was caught up. It's just, it's such a rewarding experience where you have your community on board, because even if you don't stream, people contact you and they'll remain in contact and keep in touch and ask you about everything, and it's just a very, very rewarding experience. And I can say I really absolutely value and treasure my community. Everyone's been very supportive, very friendly, and we managed to really help lots of other people who are experiencing many difficulties over the last few years. And I have quite a number of people who are people with disabilities or a variety of other issues, who are active participants and active gamers, which is so rewarding to see. And they're never alone. There's actually 2 or 3 people who have been so greatly how to put it, there are a few people who are benefiting the most from actually breaking up the cycle of loneliness by being here live on the stream and then participating with other community members. So I'm very, very happy and very grateful for that. I think that's really what really makes me very, very happy, and sort of gives me a true sense of inner reward, that the work that's been put into the streams, and that means the work of everybody who participated, indeed had that degree of value, and also it sort of initiated a difference in somebody's life, which I think is extremely important. So that's the idea. Alright, so let me just bring it back to Sivas, because we've been talking a bit, and we'll go back to live. And I will go back to the strikes. I'll pick up a few more bounties. I think I We'll have a look whether we have completed everything there. Where is it? Progress. Yeah, we did actually complete a few. We've got Captivating Light completed. We've got Candle Fire completed. In Destiny 1 we always increase the ranks of these factions. So it's significantly different compared to the sequel. In the sequel you are having a different type of ranking set up, and you are always collecting materials and loot. But lots of people tell you that the materials and the way they worked with certain enhancements of weapons and armor in Destiny 1 had been a lot more grindy and difficult compared to the sequel. Yesterday actually Matthias mentioned that he actually not played Destiny 2 at all since they launched Forsaken, because he had found it to be so flawed compared to the original. I guess it's a personal experience and belief, and some people like it and others may not. For myself, when you compare two of the games, you can see that they provide quite a variety of different options. This game is, I guess, to a degree simpler, but it does require a maximum team effort to complete certain tasks. You're not going to be able to get certain exotic weapons or complete certain quests unless you have a full team aboard, be it a 3-piece or 6-piece. It's just not going to be possible. Whilst in Destiny 2 they made it possible, and they also gave you the capacity to play literally like 6 or 7 games in one. You know, Gambit, PvP together with PvE, then you have the Crucible, which is purely PvE, then you have campaign missions, which could be either way, and different systems, you know, with the dungeons, and then with world events, and like for instance I really like Escalation Protocol, and the what are they called? The Altars of Sorrow. I really like those ones because they really were very hectic, huge amounts of enemies popping up, and you also needed a team of 6 in order to be able to compete successfully. So, you know, I like the idea of being able to jump in and then play either of the games because they give you that variety. And that's what it is. That's really cool. Let me see if we've got any engrams.
This looks interesting.
I need to spend some of that money.
That looks very solid, Guardian.
Ah,
Come
conspiracy
back
theory.
We need the challenge.
Conspiracy theories there. Well, anything blue and green is not particularly useful once you reach that 400 level. For all of you who are playing Destiny 2, 400 is the top level. Unlike in the sequel, where it can be just with every season going up and up, that definitely is not the case here. Conspiracy theory shotgun. I think I've got it in the vault. And then we have Queen Mother. So good to see Sunny after so long. But thanks very much for popping in. Very glad to see you, and obviously to hear that you're safe and well, because I'm really worried about many of our friends during the pandemic, and sadly some of our community members have been very greatly affected, and I've not heard from some people for some time, and therefore I worried that perhaps something untimely, unfortunate had happened, as it did take place with some of my other friends here, which are not really members of this community, people who were involved with other fields that I'm connected with. I lost about 17 people to COVID, I'm afraid, and about 8 or 9 extras on top of that, who died during the period, and who were suffering from other illnesses. You know, COVID was not the cause of their passing. So I'll just grab a few more bounties up there. What I forgot to mention to Sunny is that I've got a system set up to which people can donate in order to support the charities. At the moment, it's Mind UK that we're supporting, or they can decide to support me personally and the forum that I run here. So that's new. We didn't have, well, we did have it before, but I guess it's a bit more formal. As you could see on the overlay, it exactly tells you what are the tips. The tips would be basically for myself personally and for this forum, and then the other is the charitable donations, where it says Tiltify. It tells you exactly what has been achieved. Obviously, this is still in a very beta stage, so we haven't got any major contributors, but we'll see how everything goes, and I kind of really look forward to that.
Close. Thank you, Guardian.
Okay, so we've done all of this, and the time now is just about ready for us to crack on with a bit. Lock.
Confirmed.
Okay.
Have a marvelous
So we
day.
can decrypt, literally encrypt, decrypt. My brain's not working anymore. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I found myself yesterday also kind of missing my words to a degree, and it'll take me a bit of time, a few days to kind of get back in the full swing of things. I don't know what's causing it, whether it's hot air or it's just lack of concentration, or it's probably more to do with practice. The broadcasting is all about things becoming second nature, and that's probably the reason.
You won't be disappointed.
Or age, you never know. Cloak of Solitude, I want to try that, see what that is. Okay, so let's look at the loot. Again, we are collecting some blues, and that's what we do not want. We had some blues in here. Oh, look at that. Hood of Malok. That's actually quite a good one. I quite like it. Yeah, I sort of kept that Ian Tracer mask on. I kind of liked the same outfit representing the Future War cult. And then maybe once we get our people in, once our community members start participating live, then I'll keep changing it according to the squad and the team that we are going to have on board. Cloak of Solitude. Okay. Probably best placed in the vault. I got used to the idea of modding because I keep modding my armor all the time in the sequel. So every time I go back here, I want to be doing some modding, and I can't do it because the mods cannot be easily altered. We don't really collect them anymore or get them through the gameplay. So easy to forget. Alright, my friends, let's just carry on. We collected everything. Siva Heroic Strikes out to follow, so let's crack on. What I do always is I come here and observe, I look at a view, and then get ready for another battle, because like in real life, before you go to a battle, you want to spend your time with loved ones, and you want to go to places you kind of like the best, love the most, because you never know. When you go to a battle, you may not come back alive, which is not the case in video gaming. Of course, we are always going to be coming back alive, but still, I think it's important to remember that the real life is something else, and we kind of try to incorporate the elements of real life in the gameplay and in the stream and in everything we do here, just to remind ourselves that this is obviously our virtual world. It's full of dreamlike sceneries and activities, full of dreamlike fantasies, but there are these elements of real life present in some of the games as well. So that's just a brief reminder. Okay, so let's go to orbit and let's try to engage with another SIVA heroic strike. Let me see how many people are actually watching Destiny 1. There's only 50 people. That's really not many. We have 1.2 million followers, and from about 500, 600 a couple of years ago, it's gone down to 50. So really, we are not having many people watching, and everyone, the vast majority of people and streamers, have actually migrated to the sequel. But you know what? Never mind. We love Destiny, and we'll keep streaming it, and we'll keep connecting with everyone else here. Back to SIVAs. Just wish that we'd get some people coming in together with us, because today I played 2 SIVAs with hardly anyone participating for quite some time, and they were quite difficult. And don't forget, I'm a bit rusty. I've not played Destiny 1 for a while, so it was a bit difficult, but those chaps that joined us were very proficient, and the strikes were completed in no time. So, always good to watch. Curious to see which one we are to be getting as we...
The House of Devils marked you as public enemy number 1 after you trashed their Prime servitor, but your old friend Sepix Prime is back. And apparently better than ever, thanks to the Devil Splicers and SIVA. Zavala's not too happy about the idea of the Splicers playing Godmaker, and I can't blame her.
So what you're saying is it's time we return to the scene of the crime. I'm sure the Fallen will be happy to see us.
Part of the seasonal content, man.
The new and improved Sepix is holed up in the Devil's Lair. You know what to do.
The Hive are still holding ground in the refinery, but I'm also tracking multiple SIVA energy signatures.
This one's out. Looks like the other person's already gone forward. Anyway, I'm not lucky in the speed runs, I've got to admit. It's not interesting to watch these strikes if one person just literally racing to get to the boss. One of the guys dropped. Yeah, we need some of the heavy ammunition. Definitely.
splicers have a laser grid blocking the way. I should be able to disable it. In the meantime, do not touch the lasers, and watch my back.
I kind of quite like the strike both here and in the sequel. In the sequel it's a bit more difficult. I guess it depends on the format. What's this? Looks like the service going up. What is going on? Why this is going on? Just change that one because I need my sword. I need that. Looks like a glitch.
Halfway through, but we've got major hive reinforcements inbound. Good luck.
I've got to say, it's surprising glitch today. You had several issues. Like the game servers are not offering properly or something. That works. The shanks have been neutralized. Son is saying cool. I mean, how long has it been, son? It's been a while. The last time we spoke was like at least 2 years ago, right? My friend from Amsterdam, he works in Germany. He said he couldn't really work the numbers of doctors they employ in certain areas. It's very bizarre. So he basically works in Germany for the week, and then on Friday night he gets on a train, goes to Amsterdam, and then stays there until Sunday afternoon, goes back to Germany again. And he does it with TARDIS train, so he's there, very, very quickly. And sometimes he drives. It's a huge train we're driving every single weekend, What are you playing at the moment, Sonny? What's your favorite game?
Vu. Me, you, a sea of devils, and an angry machine god waiting on the other side. I'd say lock and load, but I'm sure you already did.
A biggie for many people from Tuesday, I think it's the 6th, isn't it? Or Wednesday, when it's fully launched. Everyone who pre-ordered got it as well. I like that. And early access. It's huge. I keep forgetting instead I got to repetitive 2 or 3 times. still got me. That is annoying. The stream quality is better now, isn't it? Pixelize and those things make the video a bit more interesting to watch. So strong, and you know the Dark Drinker should have eliminated him. So the game's a bit glitchy. Dark Drinker is together with
why would the Splicers rebuild Sepix? They already have SIVA.
I can make a guess. Maybe an offer to the other devils, a show of power. You know, in SIVA we trust, and in SIVA all things are possible. Get in there and show them that their god is nothing but metal and tech.
That's right.
Sepix perfected in all his glory.
Yeah, some of the combination.
Sepix to run this time.
That's cool. That was a very good strategy. There. Sepix. Do you have a key?
Sepix was the Splicer's next big play. Present a god for all to worship. Then control the flow of ether to control the house.
I guess they didn't factor us into the plan.
Nah.
Any wrench we can throw in their works is a good thing. And Guardian,
that's annoying.
You make one hell of a wrench.
He was jealous. Did you say this? He was just jealous about me taking up the hotspot, the top spot. He kicked me in order for me to get away from the top spot. Oh well then. Shouldn't be really that annoyed. He had 91 kills and snatched lots of my kills. So let us see whether we completed any bounties. We did complete one bounty. Elixir hunting. Strange coins. I got plenty of strange coins. We need to visit Xur. Need to find out where Xur is and then get some weapons from him. Xur in Destiny 1 appears only on weekends, and you buy the weapons from him with those strange coins. So very different to the sequel. In the sequel, it's not quite like this. You get Xur in what's it called?
Remember Omnigul, the Hive General with a lovely voice? She's back.
Vanguard scouts report she's undone her death.
Undone her death? You make it sound like she pulled her knitting apart.
Forgot to mention to our friends Sunny and to
that's why she's not here.
There's no telling what else might follow,
that all the
Destroy
games
Omnigul and any lingering threats.
Viewing points now on the channel, so I'll have to look into this and see how many points people had acquired, because that's dependent on how long you spent watching the stream, and then according to the scores we are going to be having some special rewards. So really nice and interactive. Really like
if Omnigul can come back to life, how do we make sure she stays dead? I wonder if the Hive think that about us.
To the Hive, death is relative. We'll face Omnigul as many times as it takes.
Guess we were made for each other.
I played this as a Nightfall Strike so many times.
Be ready for anything. The Hive and Fallen here are more desperate than they've ever been.
It's funny, because I think, my previous streams are not done with some stuff. Destiny 1 is so good, so good, honestly, it's just not a good thing. The game's not being played as a good so like colors. The sequels are better, of course. It's being tailored to next gen consoles. Hold on a minute, I need to get in there to grab our friends. This gas will kill me. Revive our friends and the gas kills. Ooh. What about the third chap? Is he still there? Oh yeah, well that's good. So we just started right from the beginning. Wow, tough. I need a hot drink, in fact. Can't believe the stream maybe for 3 hours. Time flies when you're having fun, right? I wanted to test the actual timing today. It was generally I stream earlier in the day, and I thought I would try Saturday night, but I forgot that Destiny games are doing raids on Saturday night, so... ammunition.
Guardian? You remind me of...
Actually, we
well, Ikora, from the Crucible days.
That was a lifetime ago.
I'm sure Shax hasn't forgotten. He still has trouble sitting.
Rifle. Did pick up some ammunition.
The Cosmodrome is turning into a breeding ground for Hive and Siva. It's like one big, disgusting petri dish.
Yeah, we were doing this one a couple of times yesterday. Thank you. It's Shax. Nowhere to hide. It's just close range. Close range. Ah, the sniper got me. Thank you. Fortunate because I missed that shank several times. He was hiding. Oh, look at that. I don't believe that sniper was hiding up the top. Didn't see anything at all. Spawning in a second, that's fine. Yeah, the trouble with the Margarita is it does have a lengthy loading period. It's not ideal for CTVs close to the tobaccos.
that you're all warmed up, let's find Omnigul.
Yeah, Omnigul's next. I've got to admit that heavy ammunition was really scarce. Couldn't get anywhere, which is really annoying. Like my cloak, Future War Cult, Eon cloak. Someone else is joining us, which is good. Heavy stream. I want a medal. Yes, but I've got some ammunition, so that's annoying. So where are these other guys then? Offense gone forward. Well, it's not doing a speed run, but just thought, well, it's going to be strong enough to deal with that monster. I was right, actually I was. But it'll be a bit tricky without that third partner in there once we get to Omnigul. No, we need to open it. That's it.
Omnigul is back for a reason, and it's not just a yell. She does seem fond of that. Finish her before it's too late.
The marker telling us to do this, but I knew that the guys had to go there. Yeah, it's glitched. We should be able to go there. That's where I need to go. Was waiting for this third person to come in.
Eliminate her, Guardian. Badly hit. Therefore I am dead.
Just running a bit more aggressively because the Dark Drinker does suffer a lot of damage. It's very difficult to get away from that because of the gas, which is then preventing from jumping. I hate that gas. I do. No, not I'm not getting any medals, so... Yeah, that was tricky. Can't believe I survived a throw. Can't believe that. That is crazy. Strike was set a couple of times, it's like it's all about having the right armor and I guess my armor's not ideal because I keep wearing the same. Quite like the outfit because I've learned that usually called backshot. I hate that gas. I really hate it. chaps are not using any rocket launchers or anything like that. You know, Honorable's got like less than 5% in that. I was lying there. Come on. You've seen that? That advanced income is such a powerful weapon.
There are no further traces of high energy.
Well,
getting anything.
If she comes back, so will we. Look at us. Omnigal's neutralized and Eris didn't have to lift a finger.
You should tell her.
Trust me, she'd prefer to hear it from you. Come on back, Guardian. Good work.
Curious to see what sort of 110. Not too bad. 54 medals I acquired, but I'm not getting any treasure packs, chests, whatever they're called, treasure boxes. That's annoying. I'll need to take a very short break after this. Let's get a hot drink and a biscuit. Eat some fruit, and then we'll carry on. Well, that's been very enjoyable. I'm really surprised, tonight on Saturday is not as busy as it was during the last couple of days. Whilst I was doing these day streams, and for me that's actually quite a good sign, because I do not want to be doing my streams later at night. It's not really my sort of thing. I like doing the gaming earlier in the day, so we do it daytime. And mind you, Saturday night people go out and spend time with their families, and the usual. All right. So what I'll do is I'll go to the tower, because I'll pick up a few bounties before, because I want to see whether I complete any bounties. I did complete some bounties. High bounty. In every corner. Arsenal flight, that's very good. Well, you could see all the Sievers have been completed, just one left, which is medals, and that will take a bit of time, so that is 10 medals in for the explosive streak medals in Siva Crisis, so that'll take a bit of time. What's this one? Well, that's the weekly one. Secondary medals. Yeah, fair enough. We can just grind it. It's fairly new. It's only Saturday. And what's this one? Special weapon kills, precision kills, Patrol Venus. Yeah, we can go there a bit later. I wanted to do some Crucible yesterday, and it was impossible to get in, so I'm not going to bother. Alright, let's go back to the HQ. We'll do a bit of admin, we'll do a bit of bounty collection, and then we'll go back in. How is everybody doing? What are you doing on Saturday night? As you can see, I'm playing Destiny. But earlier in the day, I checked out the new titles on Xbox Game Pass. I collected some Microsoft rewards points, I should say, rather than rewards. I'm nearly there for a streak of 3 months of claiming my ultimate for the rewards, but I need still a few more rewards points. And the reason I'm not getting them, or I didn't really reach the target, is to do with some of the glitches. For instance, on Bing, you need to be completing daily polls, and then they don't register. So that's one of the reasons as to why I've not really managed to complete everything. And then there were a couple of games that required downloading that couldn't play through the Xbox Cloud. They would give you like 250 points. Anyone who's on the Game Pass, just remember you need to be combining your app, the app for Microsoft Rewards, together with your achievements and together with your Game Pass tasks, weeklies and dailies and monthlies. And when you combine all of them together and top it up also with Bing searches, you are going to be able to get 12,000 points a month. I think Bing search is probably the best. You probably will get up to 2,000 on the search if you're using it extensively for your everyday activities. And it's a very, very good way of getting the Game Pass and the Xbox services literally just through the rewards points. So, highly recommend it to everyone. I've been very methodical in recent times because I realized what the benefits were. So, you know. Takanomi, Motor Flight. What's this? Belts. Silent. So these are weapons that are really not very good. No use to us, really. We can just get rid of them straight away. For the chaps that are watching, I want to ask, what games are you playing at the moment? Are you grinding Apex possibly on the new event? Are you doing Warzone, the new season? Or any other, in fact, any other game, whatever these games might be. Okay, so we completed this. What's this? Ankara scale. Well, no, thank you. Past that. Let me think. Progress. Collected our bounties. Let's go and see whether we can pick anything up still from
I hope you'll get some rest.
Our friends there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we don't have like the infinite number of dailies compared to the sequel. Because once we complete them, then yeah, that's right. So there is no access to this anymore.
Thank you, Guardian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think
I'm authorized to award bounties, Guardian.
with our quartermaster, Banshee Gunsmith, we can't be collecting bounties because what he does is he wants you to be testing weapons and then they kind of level up. And I keep forgetting this. You see, I forgot about this. This is special ammunition synthesis, but I'll buy one actually because I have plenty of money.